Hi guys, so I've done a little mashup video using some of our art inspiration stamps and the funky fossil papers and rub-ons, which are lovely. So I've got my background paper sorted. I'm using the paper from Lou Sims, which we've got on the website, and also the gorgeous paper from Funky Fossil. I'm then taking one of my texture stamps. Now, I didn't want to go direct onto my paper because initially it's quite strong, is the Distress Oxide ink. So I've stamped off, first of all, spritzed the stamp with water, and then I've stamped the second generation. It's plenty strong enough, especially as it's going over the bird image. I've then changed to archival for this because I wanted the grey. That's the only reason. So stamping that grey, so just adding little elements onto the papers. I like doing this because it keeps it interesting. Now, I've got the bird, so taking the bird again because there's multiple images in the paper pad. And I've actually stamped it with our Lou Sims stamp and then cut out the elements, popped it onto a piece of the grey paper, which is the background paper of our decorative paper, so it kind of highlights that image. Now let's get all this glued, so gluing it into our junk journal, and I'm using a pink pig junk journal, and then adding the layers, and I am 3Ding it, but that were a bit wobbly, wasn't it? I am 3Ding it, but in the junk journal it's fine because it is quite chunky. I'm using some of Sarah's gorgeous rub-ons. I've rubbed it onto a scrap piece of paper and cut this out. I've even faffed and cut the little taggy bit out as well. I mean, obviously you can use a punch, but you know, that'd require finding one. Gone round the tag with my ink and then threaded the ribbon through. I didn't cut this back, not the ribbon, I mean the video, because I wanted you to show you how much I faff. Look at the state. I take ages getting the ribbon right. Now, the reason I do this is because it's cardstock. You know, obviously, if you pull it too hard, and of course I've done this, you tear right through your cardstock. So you do need to sort of gently ease the ribbon through. So pulling it through and then pulling the ribbon back up to get that perfect knot. But it is a faff. But it's worth it because at least you won't rip through your tag. See? And it looks gorgeous. Now, using a distress crayon. The distress crayons are great. They're water reactive. So it means I can put these on. You can leave them as is because the texture's lush. Or you can use your water brush or a paintbrush to actually start moving that ink. I'm just playing. This is literally playing. So I'm kind of deciding what I'm going to do as I'm doing it. So just mark making, really. Emphasising those circles and then popping a little bit more of the crayon. It's one of those, it feels like, you know, you have the crayon in your hand, which means you have to put it everywhere. You get a bit carried away. So I'm using a water brush, and you can see how the ink, as soon as you start aggravating it with your water brush, you can see how the ink starts to blend and move. It's beautiful. And if you don't use your water brush on all of the ink, if you don't, I'm sure there's a better word for aggravate, but you know, if you don't aggravate all the crayon, then it stays as a texture, the crayon texture, which I really like. I've decided to use one of the sentiments that is in our Lou Sims paper pad, and I've done popped it onto a bit of black cardstock. I've done quite a few of these because I want you to see how much I faff with layout. And I think this is quite important because all of us will do this. You know, it's important to faff with layout and decide where it sits beautifully. And then I decided to fussy cut, and I am fussy cutting. I don't know why I didn't edit this down, actually. I am fussy cutting one of the flowers in the paper pad from Lou, again from Lou. This paper pad, I haven't edited it, so I might as well waffle. The paper pad has lots of different colour tones in it, so there's loads that will fit whatever project you're doing and whatever your favourite colour is. Now, look at this. Look at this for faffing. I've speeded this up because otherwise this video would have been about 3 hours. Oh my gosh. I think I have it and then I change my mind again and then chop it up. And now I'm going to faff even more. But I tell you what, it is quite nice having it on video as well. Because if you're not sure, you can look at the video and see which layout looks best. Right, taking one of the rub-ons. I love these rub-ons, and I love the colour as well. Pop that just under the bird, and then I did actually faff a bit more here, but I didn't put that in because I thought you'd seen enough of the faff. So I just thought I'll show you the gluing. So popping my first elements down, then 3D gluing. I wanted to show you this though because I changed my mind again. Look at that. So I peeled it back off again, even though it's wet glue, and I moved it up by 1mm. I mean, what? Anyway, there you go. The life of a crafter. And see, that millimetre makes all the difference. So popping that down, the glue I've used, because I've 3D'd the tag, I've just put a little bit of 3D foam on the right hand side of the sentiment, and then glue onto the left, so it'll be nice and even when you put it on your page. And I really like that sentiment. The faster you go, the more you miss, which is true. Take it easy. Chopping down the bits that are hanging off my page because I want to, and then checking that's dry. Now that's something I fail to do quite often, and I have broke many a pen because of it. If you go into your crayon or your paint, etc., with your drawing pen, when it's wet, you ruin your pen. Now it is a bit of the rinse and repeat. I've got a pen in my hand I have to doodle, so I'm just putting extra doodle lines. They are extra doodle lines, but I think it just brings the page in, you know, rather than going round the edge with black ink, you know, which I'd normally do on the paper. I'm using the pen for that, so the pen is kind of creating a bit of a frame round it, especially as I'm on the black paper. Again, I'm figuring out where I'm putting the ink, so I'm kind of skimming over the page, just deciding what needs a little bit of emphasis. Taking a little bit of paint, acrylic paint. I'm using an ivory because I wanted it to match the beautiful colour of the bird. I have mixed it with water before doing the splashes, and then the final rub on, and I am happy. There we go. That's our mashup between our wonderful collective gang. Well, at least 2 members. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed.